defense here. Super's a big threat, yeah. Super RC is a huge threat. The super right through, that was so smart.
You know, you just have to empty your mind and believe just for a second. And when Mike Ross said, remove no from your vocabulary,
Evo point for Hotashi.
Somehow, you know, you just have to forget it.
Know the smell of the game.
I was always going to play Nago, nobody else. How often do you get a black man in anime that is that sick? I had to do it for him. So no matter if he was good or not, I was going to play him. Strive had this thing called the closed beta number 2 with a whole bunch of changes, rollback netcode. I think it was like 3-4 weeks before the game came out, and they were testing some more stuff for like the launch version. And Nago, I mean, he was a crazy, he did so much damage. The first playable version of Nago, I was having so much fun. I mean, he could loop 5k as a combo launcher, like literally like 12 times in one combo. He wasn't a well-rounded character. I mean, he could use specials 6 times. Fukio, Beyblade, DP, clone, and then that's it. He had no way of getting back his resources. And to me, I thought that was kind of a big problem. Even if by the time he gets done using those specials, if you know what you're doing, you're gonna kill them.
My impression was, I remember people saying he was really bad in the beta. I think that carried over into the second beta and the release, but the thing is, I don't remember what they did to him from open beta 1 to towards the release, because they didn't do, like, I'm pretty sure they might have tweaked the game from open beta 1 to open beta 2, and open beta 2 is basically the release.
I think Nago is very unoptimized. Even the first year, let alone the first 2 months that the Evo 2021 was set on. I think a lot of people really didn't understand his blood management. I think Hotashi was very quick, very astute at how the character was supposed to be played.
And then you have, the game comes out in May or June, and you have 2 months to learn the game. Those are the worst Evos. It's a unique skill. Easy example, like Street Fighter 6. Older example, because I've done one, is BBCS2. That one, I legitimately only had 2 months, and they really changed my character, so I was super freaking out about it. And the hard part is, like, you just have a really short time limit, about like 60 to 90 days, to hopefully find something that's broken into best. And if it's not broken into best, at the bare minimum, you develop it faster than everyone else so that you can rob them.
And on top of that, kind of implemented his own really offensive flair to the character. Definitely caught me off guard, I would say. I would agree with the general sentiment that he wasn't very strong at the beginning.
And I guess nobody else was really pulling it off like that back then, so people thought Nago was bad. So I suppose it was a little bit of heroism on my part to show how sick the character could be.
So Sonic was like playing a lot of Strive early, and they kind of like won everything pretty early, right?
Imagine if I came into Street Fighter and took out, if I went to like, let's say, throw in a random tournament, Combo Breaker, okay? And if my path were Joe Higuchi, Knuckle Dew, Tokido, and then Punk in top 3, you know, I'm not a Street Fighter player, right? I'm an outsider. I came out of nowhere, and I'm beating all these players, becoming a threat. And then imagine if I was dunking on Street Fighter 6.
Sonic at the time was really flaming the game and saying the game was easy. I didn't agree. I definitely saw the vision of what they're trying to do, Strive, and they really like having a lot of freestyle options. And Strive is kind of a game about structure, so I can really understand why Sonic doesn't like it.
I kind of saw where they were coming from in a lot of ways. Like a lot of stuff in the game, especially the launch version, could be boiled down pretty hard. And I think the discourse about like, oh wow, they're bad for Guilty Gear's image, or like I don't know, I don't really care. I don't think it's that deep. Like they're good, they like to talk shit. It's fine, you know. Oh, just beat them if you want. You know, if you don't want them to talk shit.
We had no other game we could play at that time. Like the network quality while we're stuck inside during COVID. There was no other game like that to really bring everybody together. And SonicFox was trying to conquer it in their name and their opinions.
Like, you're picking Leo, you know, there's not going to be a whole lot of depth. You can maybe try to play other characters if you want more depth, but I mean, at the end of the day, you can't argue with someone who's winning that hard, right? And then they don't play the game for like, I want to say like a month or a month and a half, and then they just on a whim show up to Evo online, and then they just destroy, you know, all these. Yeah, it was, the loser run was insane.
And once I had made top 8, I felt like the hopes of stopping SonicFox fell on me, and everybody was waiting to see if I could take them down. Very exciting.
Match, and a really swing-heavy match, especially because in this match, one of the most important things is oppose and neutral. Yep. Oppose, well, I mean, obviously there's offense.
Evo Online was like 2-day thing, maybe 3 days. I think it was 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, I can't remember any of the people I fought. I think I fought like a Leo.
Oh, I fucked up! Oh! No! Oh! Die!
It wasn't that easy though. Once that top 8 came around, Macho, right? Macho was very strong at Zato, but I wasn't afraid. Again, very experienced versus Zato. Nagoriyuki, very powerful.
Oh wow, he was so far away. There's the pop, and that is not good. Welcome to the Shark Tank. What's the idea? You're dead, bro. You're dead. I'm not buying.
Yeah, matchup pretty interesting. I think at the time it was definitely Zato favored. I think I didn't fully realize that. I think Nago wasn't a super developed character at the time. I didn't spend a lot of time training against Nago. I think a lot of people thought that Nago wasn't super strong. I spent a lot more time playing against characters like Soul, who was undisputed #1 in the game at the time. Definitely very much a defensive style that Zato needs to play to be able to really secure a very easy win against Nago in that season. But if you know me from my other games, I'm much more of an offense-oriented player, so that's kind of the style that I went for in that matchup.
Getting anything started. 2S to begin the pressure.
Ooh, yeah, 2K. I love that we have waited for the burst right there, too. I really like that choice a lot. Macho, I think, has been very aware of that. And again, PRC, extend here so that you can resummon.
Very good at murdering Zato for minute errors. I think I beat him like, what, 3-1, 3-0.
Still has burst though. Yep.
And he just goes for it, yeah. I don't blame him. And the trade on the 5K puts Hotashi just like that in winners finals.
But then somebody came out of nowhere. You know, a player called Jonathan Tene. By the time Strive came around, I had stopped paying attention to Dragon Ball Fighters. I was like, who the hell is Jonathan Tene? That's their tag.
Close S.
Oh, wow.
Fukio
The wake
forward.
of close slap.
And was
That
ready to
talent.
fire.
I could not have realized how sweaty this little bastard was.
People, I don't think, expected me to do all that well and didn't know who I was or whatever. I played Dragon Ball. That was my first fighting game. I kind of got good at Dragon Ball around when COVID hit. I kind of dropped it by the time like pandemic stuff had ended, so to speak. And I picked up Strive around when it came out. Primarily, actually, because I had locals for it, and I didn't have locals for Dragon Ball. And locals matter a lot for me. That was like where a lot of my practice came from. And because I didn't like play online, that like I don't really like online tournaments or enter them all that much. Pretty early in Strive, Daemendo, like the Slayer player from Xrd, was still playing Strive, and he was playing Nago, and he was hella good. Like he was really, really, really good. That was where like my Nago practice came from. I like was super high on the character. I thought he was really good. Because I know the narrative was kind of like, oh man, he shocked everyone. We all thought, like, I don't know, I thought Nago was kind of broken. Like, he wasn't as good as Soul, but he was still really good. And the way I played against Daemendo, or just Nago in general at the time, was like super reaction heavy, like punishing with 2S with Soul 6H, punishing with 5H with like run up 6S, checking Fukio all the time, stuff like that. And I think within like 5 seconds of winners finals of Netplay Evo, I was like, oh, this is not gonna work.
Comebacks. But here we go.
Yeah, and I think Hotashi is really good in this matchup, right? I think sometimes he kind of doubts himself.
I'm playing like 3 to 4 rollback, like 130 MS, plus like the extra input delay from playing online. And then for those who only started playing Strive later, base PS4, or it was like the standard at the time, they didn't reduce the input delay, so it has 2 more frames of delay than what we play like Strive on now. So I was like, dude, I can't see anything. So I kind of had to like completely change the way I played. He's a lot more liberal with how he spends blood, because he's like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna do it, and then if I hit you, I'm gonna pop, or if I hit you, I'm gonna do this combo and I get my blood back, right? So he's a lot less scared. But there were a lot of decisions he made that I was like kind of surprised by. Like, let's say, oh, he's gonna do this special move and he's gonna still spend his special cancel after. When it like doesn't really make sense to, but because of that, that's why he's gonna do it, right?
That's the kind of character he's playing right now. Oh, the bar is.
I love that. I love that he hit 2S like 9 times, and then was like, okay, I should hit a different button because he's gonna be ready for it after 9 of them.
The thing that annoyed me the most was there's this one point where I'm up 2-1, and then he blood rages, and then I do wild throw to lock out his burst, because the animation is really long to punish his blood rage, and then it barely doesn't kill because I wild threw like a little too early, and then he puts the mask back on, and then he does 2S into Beyblade, which is a 1-frame gap, and then I input DP, and then the game's like frame rate drops, and the game like it chugs. Like I can see the game slowing down, and then my DP turns into a close slash, and I die.
No meter though. Mask on, as it should be.
Uh-oh, this is actually really bad.
Oh yeah,
I was
yes,
just gonna
you're
say,
dead.
if he survives.
And at that point, I was like, dude, all right, like online, I understand. This is just how it is. Every time he whiffs a 5H, I try to run up 6S and I miss the whiff punish every time. There's even like a clip on commentary where Sejam like calls out me whiff punishing.
I mean, you have the big normals, but no space to use them. And again, I love the way Jonathan's backing up and then going for these like, whiff punishes or dashes up. Oh my god.
It's a race, right? Because the game came out in June and then there's so little time to figure stuff out, and he clearly won the race,
I think this is a scary spot to be, though. This corner position, yeah. Oh, that confirm was so smart.
What a threat. I'm surprised that I beat them. I think I kind of robbed them a little bit. But better for it, because only one person could take down SonicFox. That was me.
With the shimmy. Oh, Hotashi didn't take the bait, but he burst right after. The Vampire Jump H secures the victory. 3-2 will be the count. Hotashi moves on to Grand Finals. And on top of that, and calls out the Vortex with the flash kick, and that's going to be that. SonicFox is back, Grand Finals.
Somebody like a Guilty Gear player had to be the one to win, or else maybe the culture of the game would be kind of pervaded forever. I mean, we all love Guilty Gear in our own ways, but I mean, the culture hadn't really settled in, right? It had to be me. I was the Xrd player. I was playing Nago. I was there from day one of Xrd playing, If anybody was a quote-unquote true Guilty Gear player, it was me. Life imitates art, right?
Interesting to see a lot of damage, a lot of big explosive moments, and it starts just like this. This is just the way that's into the corner already.
SonicFox is epic level fighting game player, an offensive mastermind. Literally, if you give SonicFox the tools, they will find a way to open you up.
He is a huge threat. The super right through, that was so smart. That was so smart. It was like, do it.
Sonic's goal is generally just to find something that's very strong to do their best to win, but also find something strong that fits their playstyle specifically.
But I think Nago is also not a good matchup for Sonic because I think the way Nago works is just good against how they try to beat you, because Nago's numbers are just so insane, and you also like have to pick a lot of different things against him. Like he forces you to play at certain ranges at different stages of the match, and he forces you to like defend in certain ways and all that. And the way Sonic likes to push the issue, I think you have to. It gets at least slowed down, if not like mitigated, by just Nago existing. So I think that was like for sure their worst draw.
Great options, maybe on like backdash or
counter
something.
hit. Dash through, gets him with the H once again. This is not looking good. Meter on the table. I'm not sure if this is gonna kill. All
No,
right.
not quite.
Okay, still a chance right now. SonicFox can try to set 2-6.
You ever watched Last Samurai? Tom Cruise saving Japan. In that movie, there's a scene where the main character, Algren, he is doing like sword training in a field, with training wooden swords, and he keeps on getting smashed. I mean, the other guy was of course a master of the sword, but yeah, he could put up a fight. He's literally all he knows is war and fighting and battle and loss. And the anxiety of being watched by everybody is overcoming him. So his boy tells him, hold on, you know, mind people, mind sword, mind the sun in your eye, mind opponent, too many mind, no mind.
Mike Ross? Eliminate Kent from my vocabulary? Alright, fine. I can do it.
You know, you just have to empty your mind and believe just for a second. Mike Ross was my hero when I started fighting games. And when Mike Ross said, remove no from your vocabulary or can't, the literal heroes of a bygone age. So it meant a lot for my hero to come tell me not to give up.
Let's rock.
When it got settled on Hotashi versus Sonic, I was like, yo, I think the tournament's over, and Hotashi got it. Nago players have been performing well against Leo, and then also the funniest thing is Sonic thought the game was easy, so I don't think they really prepared to fight Nago, and you need a really specific plan to fight Nago.
He also has meter too. You have to be careful here about that. Looking for the Beyblade. The Fukio backdash had the chance.
How did it work?
That was it. He could have just hit the backdash, but now they have a chance. SonicFox with offense here has meters. The backdash from Hotashi. All tournament long, all the way to being your Evo champion.
My son just rocked out the Evo 2021 championship! It's the only reason why I can do anything, alright? That's right.
I mean, I had won tournaments before, top 8'd, you know, beat super strong players, but in front of thousands and thousands and thousands of people, for the sake of the culture of a new game. I was only worried about, you know, 1 or 2 players in the bracket. They ended up in losers, so I never had to fight them, but I know I would have had some trouble. But once that was over, it was free, it was sailing on open seas. Sun's out, no obstacles. I was just taking every fight as they came, wasn't afraid of nothing.
Whether or not, you know, Hotashi saved Guilty Gear, you know, he was a Guilty Gear player, so, you know, he definitely saved it for his community. But I was an outsider myself, so, you know, I was just trying to compete and kind of prove that anyone could play the game at a high level. You know, legacy doesn't always matter. It just matters, you know, how much you want and how many hours you put into it.
I think Sonic, preparing for Nago, probably won that, but partly because they thought the game was too easy and they didn't prepare for it. They got caught off guard, and Hotashi, he worked really hard for it, and I think he really earned that win.
It didn't matter to me at the time that it was online. Evo is Evo. Evo is where legends are made. And to get top 3 or even to win, I felt I couldn't even believe it at the time, you know. Everybody of my friends, my family, they were all watching. And it meant a lot. It meant a lot to be, you know, at the forefront, be a champion.